Whoop. Can you hear me now? How about now? All right, great. All right, I'll start over. I don't know why that happened right now, but I will. I'll start over and we'll go from there. So, what I was saying, and I'll just start from the beginning again. So here we are with NVDA, and sorry about that, but here we are with NVDA, and what I would say is, you have to watch this 1824 level, and we have to wait and see how that acts. Okay. I do think this could push again today, but just watch this level if you're looking for a trade or you're looking to be in something for the day. Like this could really go. It just has that feel to it, and you're going to have a light volume day, so it's going to be very easy for them to move this name today. So definitely keep that on the radar. So, all right, cool, Robert. Thank you. So I don't know what happened there earlier. So definitely keep this one on your radar. Tesla, let's just go through this again. And again, I apologize for the no volume, but see how you're holding this level? You got to watch this level and kind of go from there. And I really think that you have to just make sure that you break through it. 695 is your level, but just watch this on this news. You never know how the stock's going to act on its news. So for me, just keep that in mind. I don't see a big hurry to run into this here. MRIN, for those that follow the newsletter, if it hits the stop, I would just honor it. This is where you're at off the open, but let's just go through this because this one is interesting. And I got a lot of questions about this one during the week. You've had this ridiculous run right out of nowhere. It's very clear that this is being manipulated. So the question is, where does it go from here? But let's just look at this. Okay. So breaking through this 19 level, then getting through this, it's pretty clear that they're going to try and run this today. So, just be careful playing it, but there's definitely trades in this one today. I think it's going to be all over the place. And then I'm going to open this up to some more questions, but I just want to go through this. If you're in this and you were in it yesterday, I can't stress this enough. You got handed a gift. So you came in, right? And you were at 43. You're at 52.5 today. You got a gift. So, when you get a gift, you take it. I mean, that's really all I'm going to say about it. $55 is very clear that that's where we reject it. So I hope that is going to get everybody up to speed on what I'm looking at. Thoughts on AXI and ESTE? Keep throwing out names and we'll go from there. AXI, I don't have. ESTE. Earthstone Energy. I like this. I'll tell you what I really like about it. And I could just already say it. Look at that. So you're breaking out, and let's just take a look. So you're breaking out of this channel, which usually leads to a parabolic move higher. What I really like is look at this volume, right? You're over 1 million shares. You're usually at 290. So you're 3x yesterday on volume on a slow day. I mean, that's exactly what you want to see, right? So I would wait and see if you get another higher high here and push. But if you do, this could continue to go. Let's take a look at this on the weekly really quickly. So you could see that this has been around for a long time. But look, you got over the 200 week here. Let's look at this on a monthly since we're only a couple days in. Yeah, I really like this. I like this. I could see why somebody would be in this. So I get it. I think it has potential. If you get through this level up here, 16, 15, 15 is what they're telling me that is. That looks like the top of that wick. So if you're getting through that level up here, you could run. This could really go. I like this. I like that idea a lot. Hey, Ethan. So AMD, ENPH. Let's do ENPH. So ENPH clearly rejected, right? Let's just go through this. Let's look at this on the daily. So ENPH clearly rejected this top level, and now we popped out. Let's get rid of these indicators. And now we popped out of this channel, and we're going sideways. But in the same time as we're going sideways, you're still forming a flag, right? So now I can let me get rid of this line and this line, because all that tells me is that I'm basing, right? And then it's either going to have a big day down or not. And this is ENPH symbols over here. So, but what you're seeing is you're unable to get above and stay above on a close that level. At the same time, you're making a little flag here. So I don't think the trade's over. I think you're resting under a resistance line. So I would just see how this goes, but I would not be in a big hurry to close it or to frankly do anything with it. If I was in there, I'd be very apprehensive if I broke this line. That would give me pause. But other than that, I like the idea. Let's see what else we got. ZIM. Let's do ZIM. So ZIM, what you're seeing is, hold on one second here. So ZIM, what you're seeing is it's trying to base, let's hope it bases, but I mean, this is your level, right? And you're having trouble with it, and you broke yesterday. I mean, that broke. Now, sometimes when this breaks, that's the end of it, right? So just be very careful. This red bar was very telling. It was nasty. So it's just a nasty red bar. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Look. So, and you've never come back from that, have you? So that kind of lets you know that someone's up there selling. My concern with this stock was, see how now I'm just sitting on that 50-day? Well, I've never really done that. I've never really had these lines go flat. And now I'm below the 8, I'm below the 21, I'm sitting on the 50. I mean, to me, it looks like we're about to get a big shakeout. So I'd be very cautious there. I really like that name. The earnings are phenomenal. SOXL. So SOXL, I think it looks great. I mean, here's your level. Just watch your level, 42, right? Going straight across. Hold on here. You can that actually looks like it dropped. I'd watch this. I'd watch that peak. You could see these peaks in here on the SOXL, but remember that the XOXL trades. Let's get rid of this line. We really don't need that there, do we? We don't really need this here either. We can get rid of the bottom. And we'll clean this up a little bit. Here's the thing about the SOXL. You have to realize that every day that deteriorates because it's a 3X ETF. So you see how, like, here's the SOX and how that's hitting a brand new high and the SOXL isn't? That's because it deteriorates every single day. You'll notice that with like this too, right? Like here's the Qs. They're breaking out new high. And then you go look at TQQ, right? Well, this one's actually following right along with it, which is really kind of interesting because it usually they disintegrate, like they have that time evaporation. So because it's 3X, so that's interesting. Shakeout, good volume yesterday. Let's do BTAI and BBIG. 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 You got to watch how you open here. I mean, you're opening right into your 8-day moving average. Not a huge fan. BTAI. So yeah, I would not go near this. I mean, let's try and draw this a little bit better. So there's your open. And your last two closes and opens were right there. I mean, I'd be very cautious because if you break this, technically, if you break that level, you see this up here, this is your drop to here. So if you break that, you're looking at a 25% move down from here, 30, 25%. You're looking at 6 points, 7 points. There's too much risk in it for me to get involved with that. For me. I don't see a bottom bounce there. I just see a stock that's going down. I see a stock that has literally had not one up day. So it's not going to just go up on a Friday because we want it to, right? So we need to see some kind of pattern or make a decision on what's going to happen. And right now you don't have enough data to substantiate that it's going to bounce. I mean, what could you be looking at, right? Let's just go through it. You could be looking at this, but you've seen nothing that's going to hold yet, right? So, and all I have is this H that broke. So I would wait for something more substantive before I do that. UPST and skills. UPST starting to look like it's going to go. I really like how they're walking us up, right, on these lows. See how they're just constantly walking us up? That's exactly what you want to see on a trade. Exactly. So, just watch that. And I personally like this. But let's see how it plays out. You look, this level, this 138.50 level is a real issue, right? Bonk, bonk, bonk. And now we got the 21 rolling down. So let's see how this plays out. But I actually like that the 21's coming down because it's going to make us, it's decision-making time. So we're going to have to make a decision on what we're going to do here. And let's do Zynga, ZNGA. So you finally broke this level. I mean, this is kind of interesting. Here, look at this. So you've just been very quietly, no one's really paying attention to it or talking about it. But, you've gone from this like dollar stock where nobody wanted to own it to just turning into this behemoth. What I like about this is look how tight this monthly is getting. So I was looking at this earlier, but here, just look at that. Look how tight that is. Like, that's crazy for a monthly chart. Get rid of these so you can just see it. Like, that just doesn't happen. Right now, look. I mean, it's telling you where your key level is, right? 1069. That is really major support on this. So I could see why someone's in this and what they're waiting for. And you may get to that 12. That may happen. I do think there's a trade there. GRWG. Let's go through that. So I like the name. My concern has just been the too many failed breakouts, right? And we saw that yesterday, where you just have this little doji, you kind of shake out, and then now you're up, and you keep hitting these. You have these wicks. So that kind of concerns me a little bit. But with that said, what's interesting about this is that you're in a position where you're really in a position here where it should break, right? It should break to the upside. And I'm kind of apprehensive to accept that because of the time of the year that we're in. So I need to understand my own issues, right? Because maybe that shouldn't be an issue for me right now, because this is looking like it's going to break out. I mean, this is pretty clear to me that I'm forming a flag. 5108 is your pivot. And it looks like we're going to bump heads against it again this morning. If you break through that 5108, so, you're going to be in that 57 level. So let's just keep going. These little things, I have to try and get rid of this, but let's see. Okay. So let's just keep going. Home Depot. Let's look at Home Depot. I mean, Home Depot has a supply issue now, right? I mean, that's really what happened to them. So this was something that we tried to trade in. I think we made a little money, or we just got stopped out. I don't really remember so many trades, but I thought it could get up to here. I remember that, and it definitely did not do that. So let's get rid of this. Here's your issue. Their supply of lumber now is expensive compared to how lumber is dropping. I'm sure that they have very intelligent people that are hedging their lumber, but you still have it. You still had to hedge it. So it becomes an issue. Now, this level up here was something that you need to concern yourself with because, and this is Home Depot, because we've seen how we've hit here and how this has bounced, right? And we were unable to break it. But you have another level here that you have to get through before you can even concern yourself with that, which is right here. And you have to get through that. And I would almost guarantee that you're going to see huge volume in that space. Yep. See it? See that volume shelf right there? So you have to get through this. So you really have to get through that 321.67 is what I would be looking to get through before I would consider buying this. That's how I would play it. That would be my issue. Trim space on the open. Yes, you got a gift. Take it. So I can't express that enough. You received a gift. Take it. So I'll say it again. You got a gift. Take it. BHAT. I mean, to say that somebody knew that they should buy it yesterday because they knew that Branson was going to come out and make a statement. What happens if Branson over the weekend and they find out that they can't go on that date? I mean, you have to realize he's a showman. he's not a mechanic. It's not like Musk saying that we're going into space. He's not like that. He's more of a showman. So you have to realize that. I'm not saying that they're not going to go into space before Bezos. I find it absolutely hysterical, but this, you need to stay above this level. And, it's a penny stock. So you're just going to have to be very careful. Sophie, let's look at, and what is this other one? OXLC. We'll do Sophie. So, it just looks awful. I mean, look, you have your H, you tried to get back over that point. You couldn't, came back down, and now you've broken it, and you've got like a half-hearted attempt at a rally. So I avoid. I mean, I could throw these in, but it's not going to make it any prettier. So, and yeah, Sophie. So let's go OXLC. I don't know what this one is. OXLC. So Oxford Lane Capital, maybe this is a SPAC, an acquisition corp. I'm not really sure what they are. I mean, here's your larger issue, right? It's all over here on this side. You have to get through all this. So we can get rid of these indicators. Everyone can see how pretty they are, right? But let's go here. I mean, this is when you start to roll. So 960, right now you're hitting that level. So I mean, I would be careful here. I mean, look at this. I get this. I mean, I get it, right? It's actually really should be a little tighter than that down to here. And it probably comes all the way to this point. Yeah. So, I mean, I get it. It's very clear what level if you break this level, you want out. There's not much more I need to do than that. Usually these levels are pretty easy to clone when you have that kind of trajectory. So yeah, I mean, you're pretty much there. So you can see where you're at, right? So I don't see any reason to expect that to stop until you get to 960, but it looks like the chance to buy it is when it's down here, and then you can just sell it when it gets up to this level. I mean, that really seems like the trade on that OXCL. Yeah, Musk is also a showman, hands down, absolutely. But he's also, I mean, I just equate his thought process to someone of, I mean, it's just a different kind of person. Let me just leave it at that. I don't want to get into the nuances of people's personalities, but it's very different than Branson, to say the least, So I like this trade. I like that we're staying above this level. It's definitely something that I'm going to stay in. I actually have a position in this, just disclosure, but I like it. I think it's going to get through this. But we'll see. If it doesn't, we get stopped out and we go into the next one. But I do like the trade. I don't see any reason why I shouldn't be able to get to this 164 fairly quickly. See all this in here? Like, look. Hold on. Let me click on the indicators. And let's click on price. And let's close on this. Okay. I'm through this, and I have this point of control right here, and I have just a vacuum in here. So there's really no reason why I shouldn't be able to get through all that. I should be able to get through that fairly easy. So, all right. Do I think SLX can push? Let's do RBLX, and then we can look at that and look at that. This has just been one of those guys that you've been trying to trade, and I don't know why I have this all over the place. Let's remove this text. It's one of those guys you've been trying to trade, and then it just got right to that breakdown bar, and that was it. And this was the bar that broke us down, right? And look at it. Since you got to that level, you've not been able to stay in it. Now you have a little pattern right here that you can see, right? But overall, I don't think that there's anything to do here. I don't think there's anything to do there yet. And let's do MRNA. And see what's going on here. So you're just forming a flag. I mean, you came back down, you tested that level. You should be able to see this channel right here. We can draw it very quickly, but right. And you can actually see it on the other side right here. I'll just do it this way. It just takes 2 seconds. So, I mean, that's really where you're at roughly. That's rough, but that's where you're at. So I don't see any reason to do anything here. I mean, if you're fortunate enough to be in it, just stay in it. I mean, you obviously look back to November and what's transpired since they got approval and everything else. Since they came out and all of a sudden all the drugs got approved. So, in November. So then you can just kind of see how that played out for it. I mean, if you're fortunate enough to be in it, I would not do anything. I don't know how it ends or why it ends. I mean, eventually it will come down. It's just not right now. So I don't feel this way. And I know a lot of people are saying this. Hey, Mike. So, I mean, you just had payroll come out today, right? And how did they do? They came out pretty good and the market's going up on it. So I have a hard time looking at saying that, oh, because we're over the 8-day or we're over the 10-day, we're going to pull back. Because, there's a really good saying out there where the market can stay irrational. Let's do net longer than you can stay solvent. So, and it's very true. So stop telling it what it's supposed to do and just watch what it's doing, right? If it's going higher, then we're going higher. I mean, it's not much more complicated than that. So don't overthink it, but don't, I understand like, oh, if we break it, then fine. Now I've got a sign that we're breaking it. But if I didn't buy something, like take net, if I didn't buy something because it was a certain percentage over the 8-day, because quote, it's overextended, or I'm so far off my base, there's nothing that's going to tell you that because I'm 20% off my base, I have to come back down. Does it make it more vulnerable? Absolutely. It makes it more vulnerable, but you don't know when it's going to stop. So I would just be careful with that, like thinking like that. I would just change my thinking to go, this is what's going on right now. This is a risk. How do I protect myself, but still invest? Maybe think like that a little bit. I like net. I mean, I don't see any reason to think it's going anywhere but up. You broke that 95 level and you've been up ever since. And I think it'll continue. I do. You could come back down and retest this. It'd be nothing for it to come down and test 100 again. But I do like it. So, and let's just keep going. SESN. So just seeing if I have anything here. Yeah, I mean, you're just trying to get through this level and stay above 450. I mean, if you get below 450, I'd be concerned because then now you have your 8 days in play in the 21. And I don't know how long you guys are looking out for this. And it's already had like you're way off this. Like, we talk about this, right? We were just talking about this overextended. You don't not trade because you're overextended, but that's your breakout 100%. So you got to realize that does leave you susceptible to coming down a little harder. So just keep that in mind. It's not something that I would chase. Crowd. I like Crowd. I was looking at it last night. I don't know what it's doing this morning. Push this out of the way. Again, I got 10 of these. Remove this text. We'll just put this down here. I like Crowd. It looks like we're going to open up. So, we closed at 251. It looks like we're heading to open up fairly decent. So let's see what happens. I like it though. I think it looks great. I don't see a reason to do anything. All right. I got 13 minutes here. I have to SES. Hold on. Let me just read this. I have to jump here. I have to get ready for the day. SES can't do coming in August. Oh, you're trying to play that. Yeah. I mean, if you're trying to play that, let's do WDC. And then I have to go here. If you're trying to play that, then you're going to have to accept the risk, right? I mean, that's going to be a binary event. You're either going to get it or you're not. I'd be really careful here with this Western Digital. I mean, only because the 50-day now has become resistance. Here, look. See that? That's become resistance. So, but everyone have a great day. Have a great weekend. And I will talk to you later.